Let me just sit back. Hey everyone, it's Rambling Hour with Lisa, season 14, episode 6. And I'm coming to you from the kitchen. Just wanted to, I'm trying something new out. It's this tracker camera thing that Steve bought for me for doing these types of things. And it's my first time using it. I have saw that if I walk all the way to the door, it follows me there. You can see, so if my camera is moving, that's why it's moving. It's just tracking me. But not everything well, it's not that it's not clean. It's just that you don't want to see things like when I did that, and you can see my pop and my, the tea towel and the compost bin. I've moved those things out of the way so that they're not in this pretty shot. But that's why my phone's moving, because I want to do something on the cooker. So when I stand up, I'm hoping it'll follow what we're doing on the cooker. This pan actually, I guess I can do it on the smaller burner here, but you're supposed to use whatever size your pan is. That's what you're supposed to use the burner size for. If you put a pan like this on a small one, it's only gonna heat up there. Yes, the rest of it'll will heat up slowly, but the direction of the heat is right there. If you have a pan that's too small and you put it on too big of a burner, then you're losing all that heat up the sides, and you can also melt your handles if they're plastic and ruin them. But anyways, I'm excited to have you guys here. I have a few things in store for you guys, and as far as being sick, I've been feeling better this week. I still have a bit of a cough, but for the most part I am feeling, again, not 100%, but back to where I was feeling good before. So getting things done, and so I would say about 85%. So I hope you guys have all had a good week. I cannot believe it's already halfway through April. One of my friends posted her garden here, and it showed everything looking nice in her garden, and patio furniture out, and then cushions on the patio furniture, and said ready for summer. And I was like, I'm not even ready for spring, and it's a month and a half into spring. So if you go by March, April, May being spring. So yeah, I am getting stuff done outside slowly, but Mom says, hi Lisa, hi Mom. But I'm just definitely not ready for spring. Spring is always exciting because I think I've told you guys this before. The thing I like about spring, especially, part of the thing is we haven't got the warm weather really yet. A little bit here and there, but mostly it's been cloudy and rainy, so it doesn't feel like a nice warm spring or anything. But I love spring when you get those days that feel like summer already, but it's spring, so you still have the whole summer to go. Once summer gets here, you just it's the countdown, and you're trying to enjoy every day of summer because it's fleeting. But in spring, you get to enjoy the weather and look forward to summer. Like I said, in summer, you're just there's that anxiety of I better enjoy this because it's gonna go away soon. And going to Canada for summer is really exciting. I can tell you guys now, because I've told two of the girls. I haven't told Allison, but if Allison's watching this, she's gonna find out now. And Ash, you'll have to give her hugs and everything because she might not be happy about this, but. What it is it's for me, it's memories being made. It's about family and fun, and I think that we're really going to enjoy this. But I did sign up, me and all 3 girls, for the mud run in Canada with my sisters, sister-in-law, and I think my nieces. Nieces. I don't know how many of them are participating, but I'm really excited to do the mud run. So I told Aurora and Erica yesterday. Haven't told Allison yet. She'll be finding out now. And but I'm really excited for the mud run. I'm excited for Canada, camping, and the different things that we're planning there. So I will, for those of you from Canada who are waiting to know what my schedule is, I'm going to print out some calendars and start making my schedule very soon. So the thing that I want to show you guys, I have a bunch of stuff to show you, but and my photo of the day today is books. So it's good because I have these books here. I should have taken a picture before I started, but I didn't, so I'll do it after, but because I'm going to take them out a few at a time when I'm talking about them. So I finished 3 books, and I have 3 that I could start reading now. I don't know which one I'm going to read yet, or if I'm going to read them at the same time, or whatever, but that's where we're at. So I have a few things to show you. I think I told you guys before that Steve, so with my recipe cards and stuff, you guys know that I like things old-fashioned and witchy, and especially in the kitchen. Steve bought me this beautiful, but not old-fashioned or witchy recipe card holder. It was a gift that I asked for, a recipe card holder, on my wish list a couple years ago, and so this is the one he got, and it came with these blue tabs with the ABCs. But with recipes, you don't want ABCs necessarily. You want ones that are that have like, you know, the categories like whatever, breads and appetizers and drinks and all that kind of stuff. So then I told him that I wanted, like, so I had bought these, there's 2, I think there's 2 types here, hang on. Yeah, there's 2 types here. I bought these recipe cards. Take them out of the plastic to show you. Well, these ones aren't open, so I'll leave them in there. But I bought 2 different recipe cards that, sorry, I'm just going to clear my throat. I bought 2 sets of recipe cards that like look old-fashioned. Actually, I'm going to take these ones out of the plastic too because the barcode is right across them. So they're just like this type of cardboard or what, manila tag or whatever it is. And it's just so it looks a little bit more old-fashioned. And then these ones that look a little bit more old-fashioned as well. So I wanted dividers that were more old-fashioned as well. And so I said I had to keep my eye out for recipe dividers to go in this recipe box. Because the truth is, eventually, when I find the right box, I can always put all the cards into a new box. But until then, there's no reason I can't use this one, and I love it, and I can make it my own. But so Steve said, "Why don't you make the dividers?" And I was like, "I guess I can." And luckily, I also had this cardstock, so this cardboard-looking cardstock. I don't know if I think it might have been for when I did mine and Steve's wedding invitations or something, but I had exactly the thickness I wanted, and the only thing is our printer doesn't let me print on cardstock, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the things on, and then put a little stamp in the corner, like a little, I don't know if I should do like a leaf on all of them so it shows like it's like a set, or I don't have any fruit or veg or food stamps per se to be able to do them all, so I might just put one thing on that makes it look like a set. But so I cut these out, 2 a page, and I did 6 of each tab. So they'll go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then behind that'll be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 6 of each tab, and then I used a brown Sharpie to go around the edges and make them look like this. You can see on the back, sometimes I slipped with my Sharpie, but that's okay because it's still gonna look cool. And so I made these, so that's what I need to do, the names of the categories, and put a little stamp in the corner to make them my own. And those are my dividers. So I wanted to show you guys that because I was excited about them and I don't know who else would care. So my recipe box that you guys will see in future things while we're doing things in the kitchen. So Mom says, so in Alberta, she says, yes, it's beautiful here today, but this week it is going to snow and rain. So cooler. Yeah, that's kind of what happens with ours too. Like the other day it was like 17 and it was really nice. And then like tonight, I think it's just 4 overnight, which again, it's like more mild here, but 4 isn't is kind of like, when do I put my plants out of the greenhouse and stuff and start acclimatizing them? I got to think about that too with all my house plants. Do I want to acclimatize them and give them a summer outside? Or do I want to find someone that I know who's good with house plants to go around the house and water them? I don't know. So it might be easier to put them outside. Okay, so let's get on with my little experiment that I want to do. Now, I needed a large syringe for this, and I didn't look at the milliliters or whatever. I just saw a large syringe on Amazon and ordered the one that I wanted. I knew that I wanted to make sure that the tip that you squeeze stuff out of was a certain size, but I should have paid attention a little more, because this is like, I swear, it's like for horse semen or something. It's not really, but it's so huge. That is a big syringe. But I thought this was really cool. It was for little ones, like our grandson, when he's over. Or, so if you do, the thing about these things that you see on the internet for kids and babies is that if you start doing stuff like this for kids, then they're going to want them and all the time. And then you're like, do I really care to put all this work in? It's just time and work. But I thought they were really cute and I want to try them to see how easy they are to make. So I have eggs, and that's all we need. Well, and I have some margarine, like olive spread to, it's a non-stick pan, but I'm still going to put a little bit of olive spread just so that the eggs don't stick. Just taking a normal bowl to put my eggs in. And I'm going to take out the olive spread. Well, maybe I'll take it out when I'm talking to myself. Okay, I'm going to turn the burner on. About 5 or 6 out of 10, so I don't want it too hot. I just want a medium heat for now. I'm going to put some margarine in there, some olive spread, whatever. And, oh, you know what, the one thing that I did forget to get out was my, flipper to flip the, of course I put this in front of the utensil drawer. I just need a small flipper because, so let me have a little bit of a drink here. Still on the pop. Could have done water. Didn't. Love you guys. So we are going to, okay, so I tell you guys to give me suggestions for things that you want to see me do on my live. When Allison was here yesterday with Ash, her boyfriend, they were talking to me about my lives and how they'll be watching today. And Ash said that Allison says, like on Sundays when I'm going to be on, like, oh, Mama's going to be on, we got to watch. And I thought, I said, that's so sweet. She wants to watch me. She barely talks to me when she's at home. But I was just kidding. But you know how teenagers and young adults are. They're not always the most social. So it's really sweet that she wants to watch my lives and see what I'm doing. And then they were here and I told them about this syringe and what I was going to do with it. And then Ash said, oh, you could do it on your live. And I thought, yeah. So he suggested it. That's why I wanted to try it anyways. Why not try it on the live and see how easy it is? As you can tell, my camera's still following me, but I'm going to tip you up just a little bit so I'm not totally cut off. Okay. So butter is melting. So while that's melting and greasing my pan, again, I don't want that too hot because I'm going to take 1 egg, break it into there. Can you guys see that? Yeah? Okay. And that's, oh, you're going to follow me all the way to my compost bin. And then, you guys are kind of crooked right now. Straighten me out. Okay. So what this guy did on this, this video was he took some of the white and then he made little whites okay, and then he took some of the yolk and he put a little yolk. Obviously, the more you do these, the better you'll get with it. They always make things look easy on there. Well, it doesn't look like a circle, so it doesn't look like it won't be a a round soft yoke, will it? And then that was supposed to flip. Okay, come on. That's supposed to flip over. And then flip over. And then flip over. I have a plate. And I'm going to put that, well, that does not, oh, maybe I'm not going to do them sunny, I'm not going to do them over easy. I'm going to do it sunny side up. Let me try again. So, and he made them really small. It's supposed to be like little mini eggs, like this one, like mini eggs for your kids. So I might need to do another egg as well. Let's try this again. Like I said, practice makes perfect. I don't have a lot of, oh, right, but now my thing is full of yolk already. Let's see. Can I pull some more white? No, it's just pulling the, okay, white. No, the yolk is mixed in it. Let me rinse real quick. I don't know if you're going to follow me all the way around. I got to go that way, camera. You're going to lose me. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. I won't waste any of this egg. I will cook all this and eat it. Of course, a piece of shell. Walking over here again. All right, let's try this one more time. So we'll take our white. Do a little. You'd almost need 2 syringes so you could be quick with the yolk. Or maybe it's better if the white cooks all the way first. I don't know, especially if you want runny yolk. I don't like runny yolk anymore. I did when I was a kid, but something about it grosses me out now. Okay, let's just put a little yolk. Yikes. Oh, those are cute. You guys can see those over here in the pan. So I don't like runny yolk, so I am going to do them over easy. But it actually flattens the yolk, so maybe I won't. I'll do these 2. And then I could do a lid. That one, the yolk is on the side. Yep, okay, I'll just leave it. If you do a lid, then the heat comes down to them, so that one's all right. But I'm gonna put them in here. This is probably the best one. It looks like a tiny little egg. So anyways, that's, and then you serve them to your kid and they have little eggs instead of big eggs. So whatever, I'll take a picture of those looking cute, and I will cook this egg. Well, I might as well cook it now while everything's, I don't have a spatula. I don't want to waste. I'm going to break that yolk because if I'm eating these, it needs to be cooked. Right. Not much left there, but yolk. What kind of yolk is that? So, and then we'll get to the books as soon as I'm done this. Good enough, pan's hot. I'm going to shut this off and set it over here. I'm going to use there where you can see them. Very cute. You don't want to leave eggs out very long either. So the fact that I made those, I don't want to keep them out for long. I'm just going to turn my light. My camera will follow. Okay, so let's move you up, or I could sit back. And let's get, okay, no. All right, let's get on with that. I don't want that towel there. Let's get on with books. So I told you guys that I finished 3 books that I was reading. One of them is actually an audiobook. So I can't really show you the book. And it's actually only from Audible. So the only way you can listen to it is on Audible. And it was called The House Witch. So I'm going to hold this up as if it's a book. And yeah, it was, it says, oh, it doesn't say it on here, but it says it was like a romantic comedy, whatever. It was, I told you guys about it last week where it was a boy witch or young man witch who was a kitchen witch, basically, well, house witch. So his powers were only in the house and he could make everything lovely, especially food. So he was a cook in a castle. The thing is, because his powers only work in a house, if his house is small, his powers only work for that house. But because it was a castle, he was getting more power because the castle was so big that he had to protect his whole house. And it was very cool. Hi, Uncle Henry. So it was a good book, and I did learn some stuff. And it's a very cute listen, and it's good for all ages, to be honest. Even kids, it's a fine book to listen to for all ages. And except when I got to the end, and it ended, and I was like, oh, that's a nice ending, but I want more. And then it said, thank you for listening to Audible, House Witch, Book 1. So I'm hoping that the author will make more of them. I don't know who the author is. It just says that The House Witch is performed by Matthew Wolfe. So that is one of the books that I finished. And as you guys know, I've been reading this one. The Many Faces of Maid. So I finished that one. That's a Canadian book, and Maid is medical assistance in dying. And this book is case studies of people who have had, because Maid is such a newer thing, and not a lot of people know people who have gone through it, or you may have heard of somebody who's gone through it. The people around them, the loved ones or the carers who have cared for them, don't really know how to maneuver around someone who you know is signed up for Maid and choosing to end their own life in this way. So this book helps you process the steps and relate to people who have gone through it before you. So it's a good read, even if you don't know someone who's going through Maid, but if you're thinking about it for yourself, or you just want to read up on end-of-life stuff. I really enjoyed it. I finished it, and yes, but I've told you guys about it before. So that one is done to read. And then the last one, I listened to it as an audiobook, but I bought them because I wanted to have stuff. So I'm going to do this. No, hang on. It wasn't the Green Witch, it was the House Witch again. And this is me learning about a House Witch. Your complete guide to creating a magical space with rituals and spells for hearth and home. And it's by Erin Murphy Hiscock. And she's the author of The Green Witch. And I have the Witch's Book of Self-Care. So I'll read the back of it, but I'll show you the... Oh, let me do this. So I don't know what order she wrote them in, but there's The Green Witch, The House Witch, and The Witch's Book of Self-Care. Camera, come back, I'm over here. So, yeah, there's eggs in the background of that picture. So The Green Witch, that's gardening, herbs, that kind of stuff. The House Witch, again, is, so I'll read you the back of the synopsis of The House Witch. It says, create your own magical space. Home is a place of refuge, renewal, and creativity, where you begin and end each day. It is also the primary root of your energy and spirituality, the house which works to honor and strengthen that sacred space, making it as simple, peaceful, and nourishing as possible. She explores and uses the magic of the home, while other spiritual paths often look beyond the home to focus on the natural world. The house witch creates a solid and supportive place to work from, a literal home base. In the house witch, you'll explore the energies of hearth and home and learn how you can create a spiritual haven for yourself and your loved ones in today's busy world. This guide also contains ritual suggestions, recipes for sacred foods, directions for mixing blends and potions, and more. Where you find shelter and nourishment is an important part of who you are. Embrace the world of the house witch and discover what the power of the home has in store for you. Well, the thing is that any practice, like I want to learn more about witchy stuff, but any practice is like so much work. So when I read about like doing spells and stuff like that is basically like prayer. And there's just a lot of like rituals that I probably won't practice because it's like, even if you're in a religion, I don't think it's all necessary unless it makes you happy, and intention is everything. So if you say you were lighting a candle and doing some candle work, if you're comfortable with it and you can picture it in your mind, you can also do anything that you're doing with physical things, you can also do in your mind, and the intention is still there. Some of the things that I think are interesting that we don't realize that we are all using anyways is, do you have one of those grandmas or aunties, traditionally female, but it might even be an uncle or a brother or something, there's just that person who their food is just so good and you don't know what it is about how they make it. And even if you follow the recipe and you're a good cook, you just can't get it the way they do. Well, if they're infusing their food with love, which we hear this stuff, this is where like we don't realize these crossovers, like I said, about like having spells and phrases that you say as a witch is the same as like praying in a type of Christian religion or such. Or in spirituality, we just might have reflection or mantras. So it's all the same thing. So with infusing your food on purpose with a spell or energy as like a witch, it's the same thing as the good intentions that you're putting into it, even if you don't practice anything. You're making it because you're excited about it, you love cooking, and you're excited about the people you know are going to be eating this food. You want to share what this with them, and that comes through in the food, and then they're nourishing their body with something that has more energy and love than the product that you get off the shop, which was made by a machine that doesn't care. Now you can use stuff from the shop to make things and infuse love into them. I'm not saying don't buy stuff that's already made at the shop, but if I get a ready meal and make it in my microwave for lunch, that is not made with the same energy as if I had made that fresh for myself the day before and then warmed it up for lunch. But I can take that ready meal and still infuse it with love and energy, and whether you're practicing witchcraft, so you're praying to the goddess, or you have a god or Allah or whoever you pray to, you can ask them, the universe, to infuse the food with goodness and the things that you need, and for your body to absorb the nutrients from it. So you're blessing your food. So in some religions you say grace before food. In this you would it's all like the same thing. So some of the stuff we do without even realizing it, and some of it I'm just like too lazy to do it all. But there's no reason that you can't put those good intentions into your, whatever it is you're doing. I always tell people, especially the kids, whatever you do has your signature on it. So when you clean a room, do you want someone to be like, ugh, who cleaned this room? Ugh. Or do you want them to be like, whoa, who cleaned this room? Or if you, what's another example? If you shovel the snow off the sidewalk, is it like, who did this, half-assed job? Or who did this? They did really well. Or, we're not good at everything, but you can tell when somebody's put effort in and when they haven't. And I think everything you do has your signature on it. So you want to try to do your best at it. The other thing that I noticed when I was listening to the book is when she was talking about like with eating mindfully, so where a lot of us just rush through and eat because we need to get nourishment into us and we have other things to do. So we know that our body needs to have food, but we don't, take the time to, so in the morning you're having a granola bar to get out the door to go to work, and then at lunch you might be wolfing down a sandwich maybe, or a can of soup, or a cup of soup or whatever, and then like dinner you might get a ready meal and just be like, because you got to get everything else done, get the kids to bed, or work on paperwork from work, or whatever you do, right? We're rushing and rushing and rushing. We're only eating so that we don't pass out from not eating. But taking even a few seconds to eat mindfully, thanking the animals that gave their life, or even, see, this is the thing, I can go on so many tangents, honestly. People who talk about, like, listen, if you're vegan or vegetarian, all the power to you. I don't care one way or the other. It's great for you. I'm not. I like meat. So whatever you want to do. But just remember that for spiritualists, people who believe in energy of the universe and stuff like that, well, like depending on what you believe, plants have energy as well. So in a lot of indigenous cultures, they will thank the plant for giving its life to them, or ask the plant if it's okay if they cut away some of it, and that too. So just remember that you think that you don't eat animals because you don't want to harm them, or but that it's okay to eat vegetables. Well, the vegetables are a living thing as well, so it's still the same thing. Anyways, that was just a tangent. Let's go back to what I'm saying. You can infuse your food with anything. You can, even these eggs, I can say, little eggs, please, give me nourishment. Thank you for the chicken who laid these eggs, and for the chickens, because they're probably not all from the same chicken. And, like just positive energy into your food, saying whatever it comes to you to give it. And then when you eat mindfully, that means that taste it, really taste it, savor it. Enjoy what you're eating. Even if it is you only have 5 minutes to eat, just have you tasted it? The texture in your mouth. What is it that you like about this food? Are you eating something that you think tastes disgusting, but your body will like it? Or is it something that tastes really nice, but it's really not good for your body? So you might ask for that to pass through your body quickly because you wanted the flavor, but you don't want it to do any, negative damage to your body. Anyways, I'm going to do the Green Witch. I'm going to I don't want to buy things twice. So because I bought all 3 books now, I'll probably read the Green Witch instead of listening to it on Audible. I don't know. I bought it because I wanted to have the rituals and the rituals, the spells, and the recipes in writing, because it's just easier than listening to all the ingredients and then trying to write it down. So that's why I bought them. But with the Green Witch, I also got these, which I'm really excited about. They are an oracle deck. Oh, I was saying with mindfulness is that, so whether I practice any type of witchcraft or not, I'm already doing mindfulness stuff in my life because, well, one, because that's what the spiritual life has taught us for years, is about mindfulness and other things like that. And meditation is like prayer. And so there's it's already overlapping into my life because of my spiritual practices. But also, it's just out there now. You're supposed to live in the moment, focus on where you are, what you're doing, and enjoy that. So we're already doing some of these things, whether you practice anything or not. It's just a good way to live. With the oracle decks, so obviously with my spirituality, I have a few oracle decks. I don't really use tarot cards and oracle cards much because I can do a lot of my spiritual stuff in my head without physical things, as I said to you guys before, but I want to learn more. When I do workshops and classes with Steve and Jackie, those are my spiritual teachers, and Steve is also my husband. I want to use these things like pendulums and stones and stuff. I want to try using them to see the differences, and also if I'm going to be teaching people to use them. So I do want to use oracle cards and work with them and see what they're like, but you have to find the ones that really work for you. Jackie has a set of Egyptian ones that I've used at Feathers for practicing and everything else, and I love them, and they're probably, you know, one of my favorite ones to work with, but they're not mine, they're hers. So I have got another Egyptian ones, but they're not the same, and it's not the same. But I'm really excited about this Green Witch Oracle deck. So not only is this witchy, but it's gardeny, you know, like herbs and stuff like that. And so it comes with a book. Any oracle set you get, or even a tarot deck, it'll come with a book, and it'll explain the cards, and it'll explain, like this one's really good because it has the card even in color, and then it tells you how to interpret this card. But the thing about the way I've been taught, and any spiritual thing, is that, yeah, great if you have, so I know someone who reads tarot cards but doesn't believe in a higher power like God or anything else. So where she thinks she gets the information, I mean, are you just basing it on exactly what it says in the book, or where, which is fine, but it's not, when you, just like all these things, like people looking into a glass ball, you know, like when you see those psychics in the olden days, with the glass balls, what are they called? Crystal ball. A crystal ball, or somebody doing tea leaves, or any of reading ruins or whatever. Part of it is looking at what you see physically in front of you, but part of it is intuition and what you're picking up from that. So looking at one card, this one here is lavender. Now, one time if I'm reading for somebody, I might see the stones that are here, and those might be something that they really need to hear. And then another person I'm reading for, I see the lavender, and that we're focusing on that. So it'll tell you what it means here, but you also, if you are trying to read tarot cards or oracle cards or whatever, like trust yourself and what you're getting in your mind's eye as well to tell the person. You can start by using the book to, you know, to learn how to do them. And even this one, and a lot of them will show you different ways to do different spreads of the cards. Like a three card spread. There's different designs you can do and what they mean and everything else. So, but do what feels right to you and trust your own guts when you're doing these types of things. I'm really excited about these cards. I haven't even used them yet. So that is a broom and mint and a walking staff. And yeah, so I'm really excited about these. I'm really excited about this Erin Murphy Hiscock and her stuff, because I have enjoyed the House Witch, and I enjoy listening to the Green Witch. It's a very good start. Actually, it would be good for anybody who's starting to get into witchcraft, but also, sorry, the books are very good for someone who's starting to get into witchcraft, but also normal witches, like people who've already been practicing and stuff, can take stuff away from this too. So those, okay, so like I said, so I've read 3 books, and now I'm going to start on 3 different books. I might do that one by audiobook. I still don't know yet, but these aren't included in the 3 that I got to read right now. What I'm reading right now, next, is, I've already told you guys about The Secret Diary of a British Muslim. So I told you guys before that I take photos of all the pages of my books, and I know it sounds crazy, but I have this stand anyways, and the light, I can tip it down facing a table, and even before I didn't have that, I would still do it with, you could hold the phone, but if you have a tripod or something that will hold your phone for you, that's even better. But even if you hold your phone and you take pictures and take pictures and take picture, even if you do it a chapter at a time, I just find having it on my phone, I can zoom into the writing, so it's bigger so I can see it. I can, if we're in bed, I don't have to have like a torch or a flashlight to look at my book and everything. I have, because I'm taking pictures of it, it lights up on my phone with the, lit up background, so I can read it any darkness. And then the other thing is I have carpal tunnel in my wrist, so holding a book that it gets really heavy, and especially if I'm lying in bed and you're holding it up here like that, it's just not feasible. So I actually do have things that can hold my phone in my room too, where I can have it where I'm lying on my side and reading, and then I can just use my finger to scroll to the next page or whatever. You don't have to do what I do. I'm just telling you how I get through these books. So I have this one that is on my phone ready to read. I have these two that I've already showed you. Now I say two because this one is the Wild Remedy Journal, so that has to do with journaling, but this is the actual Wild Remedy book. So that is ready to read, ready to rip and roll. This is How Nature Mends Us, a diary. So we know that I'm obsessed with diaries. I've written one since I was 6, and I love diary format books. This isn't necessarily written in like everyday diary format, but it has two things that I love. One, it's about gardening. And now you can get lots of different gardening books and telling you what plants are and what to do with them and everything, but I like when it's more of a memoir, when someone's infusing their feelings and their experiences out in a nature walk or that kind of stuff. So it's a diary, it's about, I'm looking for my glasses. It's a diary, it's about gardening, and it's got photos in it that she takes and everything. I think I told you guys about it before. The synopsis, I'll read real quick. That is about her. Oh yeah, I did read you guys this, but I'll read it real quick again if you don't mind. Emma Mitchell has suffered with depression, or as she calls it, the gray slug, for 25 years. In 2003, she moved from the city to the edge of the Cambridgeshire Fens and began to take walks in the countryside around her home, photographing, collecting, and drawing as she went. Each walk lifted her mood, proving to be as medicinal as any talking therapy or pharmaceutical. In Emma's hand-illustrated diary, she takes us with her as she follows the paths and trails around her home and further afield, sharing her nature finds and tracking the lives of local flora and fauna over the course of a year, reflecting on how these encounters impact her mood. Emma's unfailingly honest and affecting account of her own struggles with mental health is a powerful testament to how reconnecting with nature may offer us all some answers. While charting her own seasonal highs and sometimes devastating lows, she also looks to the science behind these changes, calling on the new research into the ways in which our bodies and minds respond to the plants and wildlife when we venture outdoors. Written with Emma's characteristic wit and frankness and filled with her beautiful drawings, paintings, and photography, this is a truly unique book for anyone who has ever felt the draw of nature and wondered about its influence over us. Emma Mitchell is a popular naturalist, designer, maker, and illustrator. She has a degree in zoology from the University of Cambridge, a monthly column in BBC Countryfile magazine, and is one of the Guardian's country diarists. Her first book, Making Winter, was published to outstanding praise. She has also featured on BBC's Countryfile and Radio 4's Women Hour, and has written for a number of publications, including Country, Living, Breathe, and Molly Makes. Emma lives on the edge of the fens in eastern England and with her husband, 2 daughters, and Annie their lurcher. That's a dog. A type of dog. It's like a greyhound, sort of, if you don't know. She records her daily nature finds with photographs and illustrations on her Instagram account at silverpebble2, the number 2, which has over 100,000 followers. So that is my second one, which is like a diary. But on the same, and then this actually is a journal that goes with it, which I do journal every day, or try to. And now, this is a kind of a crossover. This one, kind of without realizing it, see, because the algorithms keep, suggesting things to me, and I do need to read the books I own before I keep buying more. But this one is called Slow Seasons, and this is a seasonal book, which again, gardening through the seasons, definitely like my favorite type of book. And it is kind of witchy because it goes by the pagan calendar. So instead of having it every month, like January, February, etc. Well, it does have that as well, but it's also, it'll do like Beltane and the different seasonal festivals. that the pagan calendar marks its stuff with. I'm just going to check if we have any comments. Don't want to be ignoring anyone. So yeah, so I have this on my phone too. Look at how small that writing is. Like, now that I have it on my phone, I can make that bigger and actually see it. But this one doesn't have as many pictures. But yeah, so those are my books I'm reading. Like I said, it is, my photo of the day is books. So I will take a picture of these books. And books, eggs, books, cards, books, drink my drink. House plant, it's a cordyline or a dracaena. A dracaena. Common house plant that lots of you guys probably have. It'll eventually get like a long stem and look like a palm tree. So that's my house plant for the day. And that brings us on to, yay, death talk. Oh, so with what I was saying about the pagan calendar, that's what witches tend to follow. So, let me just check also what time we are at here. We have 15 minutes. So, death talk, got my little book out. Have you guys been writing your things? I am going to start doing questions again from 1 to whatever we got to 30. But today is a new question. Do you know that when somebody passes away, whether they pass away at home or in a hospital or somewhere else, that you're able to take the body home? In Ireland, they still do this a lot because they have a wake at home where the body lays in rest for a few days. Actually, a lot of other cultures do this still too, where the body lays in the home in its casket and for days. And people can come and pay their respects there before the funeral and the burial or the cremation or whatever you have planned. Also, on a side note, embalming is also an option. Some people don't realize when they go to the funeral homes. Actually, even funeral homes are an option. You don't have to go through a funeral home or a church to have a funeral. You can do it actually, not anywhere, but you would check, like if you wanted to do it in a park or whatever, like, or even at home. Again, you don't have to pay for a funeral home. It's just, it is good for funeral homes because they have everything you need. But don't be like suckered into paying way more than you need to pay for. Yes, you do have to pay for disposal of the body. Oh, disposal, that sounds bad. What do I mean? What's the other word? Like whether you're cremating them or burying them, like it is up to the family of the loved one to pay for what happens to the body. But other than that, you don't have to pay for a huge, big, expensive coffin. You don't have to pay to have them in the funeral at a funeral home. You don't have to pay for embalming. You don't even have to have it because even some cultures don't believe in embalming. So, but the body will deteriorate faster without the embalming. Anyways, so there is something for everything. So what I want to know is, did you know that you can have the body of a loved one at home after they've passed away so that you can mourn? And then also, so having the body at home, when I was listening to one of the podcasts that I listened to called Obituary, it's a comedy podcast, but they read old obituaries or new ones or whatever, funny ones, like weird ones, like all these different obituaries, or they talk about this kind of stuff, death, positivity, and everything else. Well, they talked about on one of the episodes, not a few weeks ago, they talked about these, and I didn't even know about these. So if you have a body at home, you can get like I think they're called cooling tables, where it's like a table that will keep the body cooler so that it doesn't decompose as quickly. Decomposition starts as soon as you're dead. As soon as you're dead, we start breaking down. So you can get cooling tables. But this is what I thought was very interesting, was for babies, they make these things called cuddle cots. And you can, I don't know if you can rent them, or I'm guessing you rent them, but it's a cot for a baby, and it keeps it cold so that you can have the baby there. Now, I'm not suggesting that you're keeping your baby at home for weeks and weeks and weeks. But if you wanted more time with them, I don't know if hospitals have these, but this is something very interesting that I thought people should know about if you have lost a baby, or unfortunately in the future people will lose babies. But this is called a cuddle cot, and it cools the baby down so that you can have more time with the baby. So my question for that kind of stuff is, do you know that you can have the body of your loved one at home after they've passed away? How comfortable are you with that? Would you ever do that? You don't have to write this in your funeral plans necessarily. If you would ever do it for somebody else, like would you have your loved one at your house, or would you, you know what I mean? But also what you do need to write in your book is, would that be something that you would be interested in yourself if your family could bring your body home if it's not already there, or have your body at home for a few days to have a wake or something like that? So that's the question today is, did you know about this and how do you feel about it? Would it be something that you would yourself want if your family was okay with that and were willing to? Again, this is why everybody has to talk about these things with their family, because if you're comfortable with it but your family's not comfortable with it, but that's your wishes, they're going to want, most people are going to want to respect your wishes, but if they're not comfortable with it, that's not fair to put them into that situation either. So we need to talk about these things. Anyways, that's today's question. So we have a few more minutes to talk about anything that you guys want to talk about. I have some things like that are going on in my mind. Like I have one surprise for a friend that is getting made right now, and then I have a thing that I'm doing for my like my siblings and my mom in Canada that I'm working on that I'm going to bring with me to when I come to Canada, and I have those in my head, and I just want to tell you guys about them, but I can't tell you about them because they're surprises, so you'll know about them after I give them to those people. Cheers. So, season 14, episode 6. Next week is episode 7. I think I've worn this shirt before on my live. Lazy days. What does it say? Not a care in the world. Hard to read backwards and without my glasses on. And then these say relaxing Sunday. Both from Primark. Kind of go together because they're both purple. But this is literally what I was wearing today. What I put on today. And yeah, and I just didn't change because, I don't know, it could work. I want to find some kind of apron that I use just for my normal kitchen stuff. Like, you know, not seasonal apron, but just one that I do. Like, this is my rambling hour from the kitchen apron when there's not something specific for seasons. If there's any suggestions, you guys have anything you want me to try or do or whatever on my lives, let me know. And if you want to be my guest, message me. And if you tell me what your favorite things are that I do. Are they the ones from the kitchen? Are they when I have guests? Are they when I do crafts? Is it when I'm telling you about gardening stuff? Or any whatever type of stuff you want to know about, let me know. Let's see, is there anything else that I want to go over? Things that we did this week. So we went out for dinner last night, me, Steve, Aurora, and Erica. Steve went to football yesterday with Samantha's parents because there was an extra ticket. So when he got home, I was going to make dinner. I actually made today what I was going to make yesterday. But Steve said, why don't we just go somewhere? And so we went to the Hungry Horse, which is a chain of restaurants here. And I love what I ate. I ate like a Caribbean jerk chicken. It was like a little half a chicken, some like Mexican rice, and some little jerk chicken wings. And so it wasn't like healthy, but it wasn't unhealthy just because of the rice, you know, carbs. So I did good that way, but it was so good. And had I gotten it in a Caribbean restaurant, I wouldn't have been able to eat it because jerk is, did I say Caribbean? Yeah, Caribbean jerk. Yeah, and then I was thinking, wait, jerk is from like the southern states in the USA, but then I was like, no, it's, okay. Anyways, like jerk is a very, very spicy, but I knew that being in a Hungry Horse, it probably wasn't that bad because most people here in England wouldn't eat it if it was too spicy, but it was really good, so good. I really enjoyed it, and so we had a nice dinner yesterday, just the four of us. Michael, the 3 girls' biological dad, he came down on April 1st, and he left, the last day they saw him was yesterday, and then he went to stay over with Allison and Ash at Ash's house for a night, and then they were taking him to the airport today. And so he's gone back to Canada. I'm not going to talk about it too much. It's nice that after 12 years he put in some effort. I'm happy for them that they got to see each other. And, you know, I hope they made some good memories. Weirdly, they didn't think to take any photos until I said yesterday, have you guys taken any photos? And they're like, no, not really. So I said, can you at least get like one photo of the three of you with him? It wasn't their best looking days yesterday, but so I'm not going to post the pictures, but at least we have those pictures. I can't believe that none of them took pictures this whole 2 weeks that he was here. Anyways, so that happened. Steve went to football. Friday, we babysat our grandson Jackson. We even went for a nice walk I had the two dogs, and Steve pushed Jackson in his push chair, which we call a stroller in Canada. And it was just a really nice afternoon. Oh, if you don't want to hear about my my health life right now, then you can stop watching now. But I'm going to tell you about what I started talking about last week because I went to the doctor's. So this is funny because I only just recently, like in the last month maybe or so, learned the word perimenopausal. So I would have thought like something before menopause would be pre-menopausal, but the word is actually perimenopausal. Turns out the universe brought that word to me for a reason, because we're pretty sure that I am in perimenopausal. So I'm not quite to menopause yet, but I'm in perimenopausal. One of the biggest signs of being perimenopausal is irregular menstrual cycles, and I've been regular since I was 10 years old, since I started on mine. I've been regular like pretty much to the day. I can tell you when I'm going to start and stop and the flow and everything. Of course, because I said that, I think I told you guys this last week, I got my period a week early this time, which is not like me. And I was like, oh, so maybe this is perimenopause. So this is the gross part for a lot of you, but this is a fact of what I'm going through and what lots of women might go through. My vagina has been itchy, like all the way up the canal, for over a year. And we've been having trouble figuring it out. I thought maybe a chronic yeast infection. That's not what it was. I've always, since I was a kid, I would get these things that were similar to yeast infections, but it was actually just a buildup of natural bacteria that my body would produce more of than the next person. And so yogurts would help with that. Eating yogurt regularly, alive yogurt with bacteria in it keeps my bacteria in check. But it wasn't that, and basically it is like I said, perimenopause. So what it is, I don't know if it's the estrogen level specifically, but that's what I tried doing 28 days, 2 weeks straight of estrogen, and then 2 times a week after that. And it was like a 28 day, or 24, 28 pills anyways. Like they're little tablets that you stick up there. So I did that, and as I told the doctor, it seemed like it made the itching in the background, like it was a very reduced. It was almost not there, but it was still there. I knew it wasn't totally gone, but it was not like it is with, before, where I'm like going mad with this. So I said, so what does this mean? Should we try do I need to increase the dose? Or do I just need to be on it longer? And so basically what it is that I need to be on it long term. And that is probably what it is. So I started my estrogen again yesterday, and we'll do again the same thing 2 weeks straight. And then after that, 1 or 2 a week, and we'll see how that goes. And then I have a repeat prescription for it so that I can continue to use it, and hopefully that takes care of the symptoms. Saying that, with perimenopause, I guess like anything, just like everybody's pregnancies can be different, everybody's situations are different. So whatever I have with my perimenopause, and then once I hit menopause, is going to be different than the next person. However, obviously there's things that will be the same for some people. So if what I'm talking about helps you in any way, or you know what this is, or you've been having this problem but can't figure it out, you know, like, I'm here to help. If you want to message me and we can talk about this, then, you know, as far as I know, that's the only symptom I seem to have right now. And then, like I said, with my menstrual cycle being a week early, yay. But, yeah, I will keep you guys informed and then with hot flashes, I don't get them as much now, but I've always, since I was, like, I can remember, I would get hot flashes. I don't tend to wear jumpers or hoodies, sweaters, whatever you want to call them, very often because, well, if I wear them, I always wear like a t-shirt or something underneath because I never know if in a flash I'm going to get hot, so I have to take it off. So I've had those like on and off for my whole life, like at different times, like whatever. So I guess maybe it'll be like more common and it'll be really apparent if and when it happens. I don't know. Mom says, bye Lisa. Yes, it is the end of the show. That's all I have to say. So I have gone to the doctor and we're working on that. I have to go for blood work. Just to check my, I guess it's been 3 years since I got blood tested. I didn't think it had been that long, but at that time my thyroid was borderline. So we just want to keep an eye on it. So I am going to check, I'm going to get blood work done and check my thyroid and my immune system just because of how long and continuous I keep getting sick for and stuff. So we will see the results of all that stuff too. I'll keep you informed because that's what I do. Thanks for rambling with me, and I will see you guys next Sunday. All right. Love you guys. Have a great Sunday and a great week. Let me know what you're reading, what you've been up to, and I'll let you know how the books are and which ones I start on. All right? Love you guys. Bye.